Good morning. All right. Obviously, it was a really good performance, team performance by our team. I think the one question that I talked to you guys about last week was how are we going to respond after taking a loss? And our guys responded really well, and that means a lot. Not only to us as a defense, but to us as a team. So I'm really proud of the guys for that. Now we got to make sure we keep it going. Between this past game, and the Green Bay game were two of the best games defensively we've had. So we just have to look at those games and make sure we continue on this road that we're at as far as playing good defense.
I was talking to one of your guys yesterday, and he said, we feel like we found our identity.
Yeah.
How would you describe that, Aaron? What is the identity of your defense?
You know what? I think all the guys understand this. I know I understand it because it's what I preach and what I would like to have all do. We're a tough and violent team. That's who we are. That's going to attack the football. I think it shows as far as the takeaways that we've gotten and just the way that we play defense overall. We might not be the most athletic, man, but it's going to be a tough out against us every time you play against us. And that's how I want it. Say it again.
What was the tipping point where it sort of turned the corner for the defense, you think, as you look back on the past month?
I think that's something that we've talked about a while ago after bye week by making some changes, personnel changes, schematic changes. And I think, sometimes in-house we understand this, but on the outside people don't really understand this. Man, we only had like two mainstays on our defense. Everybody else were new guys. So this has been 2 years that we've had a whole, just a new defense. And I know to you guys, you think we should be in the Super Bowl, but it takes time. It takes time. And the guys are really starting to understand. We know that. I know that. And that's all we worried about. It's how we feel about, our improvements.
What can a guy like Romeo at this point in the season add to that defense?
Length, power. A guy that can get up the quarterback. Obviously, he had 10 sacks a couple of years ago. So we're looking forward to utilizing him and seeing if we can get that out of him as far as the sack production. So excited to have that player back. He's excited to be on the field. I know he's chomping at the bit to get a chance to play. So I'm really looking forward to seeing how he operates.
Last time you saw Jefferson, you held him to a career low, 14 yards. Obviously, it was a while ago, but how much of that is replicatable, and what can you take from that?
I will tell you this: it's hard to try to hold that player to that now. I mean, he is a player that I really, really respect on a number of different levels. Just in my own opinion, I think he's, if not the best receiver, he's one of the top two. And the reason I say that is not just because of the production, but I think he embodies everything I think a football player should be about. I think he's tough. I think he's competitive. Man, you see him take some hits, and he gets right back up and get ready to play. So he's an Aaron Glenn type of guy. But we have to get after him just like we did last time.
Just looking at their most recent film, have you seen any adjustments in how they're using him? Just teams give him so much attention defensively.
Yeah.
Is there anything they're doing, I guess, to create opportunities for him?
I think it's the same thing they've been doing. They move him around a lot. It's just the fact that he beats double teams. That's just what it is. So if you're not locked in, like every play on this player, he's going to beat you. He understands how to beat those double teams. So I talked to our guys this morning about leverage, understanding what this game plan is about, understanding their top players. It's not, Cook's one of their guys too, so we got to make sure that we're on him also. So the thing is, you can't get comfortable with success, right? The work has to still be done. That's one thing. That's the issue that we're in right now. To understand the work has got to continue to be done.
Another weapon since you saw him last, a guy you know well, and TJ. So how does your familiarity help you with them, and just how are they using him too?
He's just another player on another team that we got to watch out for. I mean, that's the truth. I mean, every team we played against have good quarterbacks, good receivers, good tight ends. So he's just another player that we got to worry about, and we'll do a good job against him.
So using him very much like you guys did.
They are utilizing him. They are, especially in the red zone. I think he has the same amount of targets since he's gotten there in the red zone as Thielen, who's a big red zone target. So obviously they want to get him the ball in that area, and he's a big body, so I can understand that.
So much of defense is playing your assignment. And when you do your assignment, a lot of times you don't get the stats or whatever. Who do you think is playing really, really well that's not getting attention?
All of them. All of them. That's the reason why we're in the position that we're in right now. They're all doing well.
Is there anyone specific? I mean, anybody who's
They're all
really,
doing well.
Nobody who's
They're all doing well.
James Houston's one of those guys doing pretty well. I'm just curious what you thought of that pass rush move he had on Sunday, the little skip, I guess.
Everybody's different. Everybody has ways to get to the quarterback. I've seen it done a ton of different ways. If you can get there, do what you have to do to get there. And that move that he had, I don't know if anybody's ever replicated that, but he got there, so all good.
Is that something that you've seen from him in practice, or was that just...
Yeah, he's done it before. He's done it before. So, and he's been successful in practice with it. So if it works, get to the quarterback.
What are we calling it?
The problem. The problem.
What's the next step, I guess, with James? I know that you said before that...
Say it again.
What's the next step with James Houston? I know you've said before that there's more to play in the position.
A total understanding of our defense. Total. Base defense, third down defense, short yardage, like all those things he's going to have to get better at. And he knows that. He knows that. And that's why we're utilizing him the way that we're using him. And, again, we're going to make sure we protect that player and not just throw him into different situations so he could lose his confidence. Right now he's riding high with his confidence. And we're going to continue to use him that way.
Guys, you didn't have Jerry for the first go-around against these guys. I'm just curious what the difference in your defense with Jerry back in the fold.
Go cover receiver, just like he's been doing. That's what our corners do, go cover receivers. Just as simple as that.
Does he give you anything that's different than maybe Amani brought you guys early in the season?
He's a really good cover guy, and he's tough. That's why he's an Aaron Glenn guy, too. He can cover, and he's tough.
One more on James. You know, he is undersized, I guess, by definition for an edge player. Can he ever develop into a 3-down player? I mean, is he a guy that can play 50 snaps in this league at some point when he gets the playbook down? You know,
I've seen a lot of guys. You take Yannick, for one, same player. You just have to really understand how to utilize him. And that just comes from, like, what's your scheme? What are you willing to change to have that player be a part of what you're doing? Some teams might go to a 3-4 scheme because of who he is, you know. So, but you don't have to totally do that. You could run a 4-3 with 3-4 principles. And that's basically what we do for the most part, to be honest with you. So the thing is, we know exactly what we want to do with that player. We just want to make sure we're careful with him and make sure he continues to rise the way he is right now.
Todd Wash had Yannick.
Say it again?
Todd Wash had Yannick, if I remember right.
Todd Wash did have Yannick.
You guys collaborated on that sort of concept of how to use him in that vein?
We've talked about it on a number of occasions of how we want to use that player. Again, we want to bring that player along slowly and let him continue to get his confidence the way he is right now.
He's not a conventional size. He didn't come from a conventional football factory, if you will. I'm curious what stood out about James, when he was in college, either on the tape or maybe when he went to the HBCU Combine. What stood out to you guys in that?
Good athlete that can get to the quarterback. I don't care where they come from. That doesn't matter. If you have a trait that we can utilize and we can develop, come play for us.
Last time you guys played, you guys lost Tracy early in that game. Obviously now you got Kirby back there. How much more confident, I guess, are you now with the secondary you have maybe than you were in the middle of that game when you kind of had to scramble?
I've always been confident in him. I've never said I wasn't confident. The thing is, we just weren't playing the way we were supposed to play. But I knew it would come because that's just who we are. So the guys are showing exactly who they are.
With Deshaun before, he got the benching because he wasn't doing what you wanted. Obviously, the Tracy injury pushed him right back into the lineup, and he's playing very well right now. What was the biggest gap he needed to bridge in terms of what he was doing versus what you wanted him to do?
The mental part, for one. The communication, two. And playing within the scheme, three. And he's doing that very well right now. Very well. And that's the reason why he's out there and he's playing the way he's playing.
You talked earlier this week about Jeff Okudah and his evolvement. Do you see him evolving in the next few weeks as someone that can become a true shutdown cornerback?
For the next few weeks. Yeah. Listen, I see him developing into a really good player. You know, I don't know if in 2 weeks or in 1 week he's going to be a shutdown corner, but I like where he's at right now. I think he's going to continue to develop. That shutdown corner term, you know, people really like to throw around and use. I just want him to be a really good corner. So whatever that is, if it's shut down, if it's zone, if it's whatever, I want him to be a really good player. And I think he is, because he is. He's tough. He likes to cover receivers.